here's a wild thought for you. What if I told you that the weird, futuristic sounds of early electronic music and the super serious, high-stakes world of military strategy actually share a common ancestor? It sounds crazy, right? But understanding that connection, well, that's the key to figuring out the future of artificial intelligence. Today, we're going to trace that exact line right through history.
I know. On the surface, these two things couldn't be more different. You've got a musician in a studio plugging cables into a wall of blinking lights, and then you have a general in a command center planning a battle. But believe it or not, the core principle driving both of them is exactly the same. They are both masters of something called a creative system.
So here's our roadmap for connecting these dots. First, we'll nail down what a creative system even is. Then we'll look at its original physical blueprints. We'll see how those systems jumped into the digital world, and then, this is the cool part, how the systems themselves started to create. From there, we'll see how they're becoming our AI partners, and finally, we'll ask the big question: where do we as humans fit into all of this? All right, first things first. Before we go any further, let's get on the same page. What are we actually talking about when we say creative system? Okay, so a creative system, it's really just a fancy way of saying you have a kit of parts and a rule book. Think of it like Legos. You have a bunch of simple bricks, those are your building blocks. You have the rules for how they can connect, and from that really simple setup, you can build something incredibly complex, something totally new that no one's ever seen before. Just keep that idea in your head. Simple parts plus rules equals new stuff. We're about to see it pop up everywhere. Let's make this feel a little more real. We're gonna rewind and look at how this all worked with physical objects, stuff you can actually touch. And we'll start with the bleeps and bloops of early electronic music. Picture this. It's the 1960s. Pioneers like Robert Moe and Don Buchla are inventing these amazing machines called modular synthesizers. Now, this wasn't like a piano with fixed keys. Instead, musicians got a box full of separate modules, oscillators to make a raw sound, filters to shape it, and so on. Their job was to act like an old-school telephone operator, physically connecting these modules with patch cables to build a totally unique path for a sound that might have never existed before. And here it is. This is where it all starts to click. In that modular synth, your building blocks are things like oscillators and filters. In a classic war game, your building blocks are military units and different types of terrain. The patch cables that connect the synth and tell the signal where to go, that's the rulebook in the war game, telling you how units can move and fight. See? Both systems are designed to let you explore a huge space of brand new possibilities. One just does it with sound, the other with strategy. And this is not some newfangled idea. What you're looking at here is a Kriegsspiel, which literally means war game, and it's from the early 1800s. The Prussian army created it to train their officers, to let them simulate battles and test out different strategies without anyone actually getting hurt. It's a creative system made of wood blocks, paper maps, and a set of rules, a direct physical ancestor to the complex simulations we use today. So, what happens next? Well, as you can probably guess, it was only a matter of time before these physical, tabletop systems made the big jump to the computer screen. The direct descendants of that 19th century board game are now called serious games. And yeah, they're not for fun. These are incredibly complex digital simulations used for training in really high-stakes fields like military command and cybersecurity. The technology is totally different, but the core idea, it's exactly the same. A system with parts and rules designed to explore all the what-ifs. And going digital just blew the whole thing wide open. All of a sudden, you could simulate scenarios on a scale that was just impossible on a physical board. The whole point of these games is to encourage what researchers call tactical creativity. That's the ability to come up with original, winning solutions while still playing by the rules of the system. Okay, so up to this point, humans have always been in the driver's seat. We were the ones playing the game, patching the synthesizer. But this is where our story takes a massive turn. What happens when the system itself starts to learn and create on its own? Let's jump back to music for a second to see how this works. Generative AI models, the ones that create audio, basically learn in a two-step dance. Step one, they just listen. They process thousands of hours of audio to figure out the fundamental building blocks of sound. We call that representation. Then comes step two. They start practicing. They try to generate their own audio, get feedback, and refine it over and over again. Now, that first step is absolutely crucial. The first part of the AI model, the encoder, it's like a prism for sound. A really complex sound wave goes in one side, and the encoder breaks it all down. deconstructing it into its most basic essential ingredients. It's not just making a copy, it's figuring out the recipe that makes that sound unique. And where does it keep all these recipes? In a kind of conceptual map called the latent space. The best way to think about the latent space is as the AI's imagination. It's this compressed, abstract world where it organizes all its knowledge, grouping similar sounds together. And this is the magic part. The AI now has an understanding of the ingredients of sound, not just a recording of the final cake. So once it has that recipe from its imagination, the latent space, the second part of the model, the decoder, gets to have all the fun. Sure, it can perfectly reconstruct the original sound. But what's really amazing is that it can now reach into its latent space, grab a few different ingredients, and combine them to create something totally new. A sound that has never existed before, but is totally plausible based on its deep understanding of audio. The system isn't just a player anymore, it's a composer. This leap from a tool that we just operate to a system that can genuinely understand and generate new ideas, it fundamentally changes our entire relationship with technology. Honestly, we're moving from a world of tools to a world of teammates. And this is not science fiction, it's happening right now. Take the Cyber Attack Academy, for instance. Here, the simulation isn't just a practice field. It's enhanced with an AI mentor. This AI is smart enough to understand and answer between 80 and 90% of the students' questions. This frees up the human experts to focus on the really tricky, complex problems. The system is no longer just a space to train in, it's an active teacher. And this slide right here is the whole point. On the left, you have an AI breaking down audio into its basic parts to create new sounds. On the right, you have a simulation breaking down strategy into its basic parts to create better thinkers. It doesn't matter if it's nodes and filters or units and rules, the underlying system is exactly the same. It is a creative engine built to explore and generate something new. The goal isn't just to repeat what we already know, but to help us discover what we don't. Okay, so what does this all mean for us, for you and me? How are we supposed to work and learn and even think alongside these systems that are getting more and more creative every day? You know, the management expert Peter Senji really nailed it a long time ago. He said that it's not about having the fanciest technology. The real winners in the future will be the organizations that figure out how to get everyone at every level committed to learning and adapting and growing right alongside their tools. So what does it actually take to thrive in this new world? Well, it takes a culture where sharing what you know isn't a chore, it's just what you do. It's a place where people are empowered and trusted to make smart decisions. And probably most important, it's where everyone is constantly learning, always ready to invent new ways of doing things, adopt the best new tools, and adapt to a world that is changing faster than ever before. So, from the humble synthesizer to complex simulations to generative AI, our tools have evolved. They've gone from being passive instruments we play to active, creative partners. They are constantly learning. The only question left is, are we?